So here we are, just about a week after New Year's, the beginning of 2023. And many of us set New Year's resolutions at the beginning of the year. Not everybody does. But sometimes here we are a week later, and we find that already something's happened and we're not necessarily keeping our resolutions. In this video, we're going to talk about what we can bring forward to deal with tasks, goals, aspirations, resolutions, and do something that's good for us in the long haul. Or sometimes we find ourselves engaged doing stuff that we don't want to really be doing, but we're doing it anyway. How are New Year's resolutions, tasks, goals, and intentions and aspirations related? One of the things that they all share in common is some form of an intention. As we decide that we're going to move off and toward accomplishing some sort of a task or a goal or a resolution. Resolutions oftentimes are simply large goals. Might be something as minor as losing a couple pounds, maybe some weight that we might have gained over the holidays, or it might be a bigger life change. Oftentimes they involve life changes. And we set them and we start moving toward them, and then we start to realize that, this is hard, there's something getting in the way, there's obstacles. And then we step away from it, and then so often we feel bad, we feel like we're a failure, we're whatever thought patterns start showing up. So any task, any goal, any aspiration, any resolution, once we know what our deep intention is, and when I use the word deep, something that's within us that drives us, very often it starts to point toward that. It's pointing toward our core value, something that is even deeper within us that informs us most of our life as we navigate life challenges, the catastrophes that come our way, the successes that come our way. So every time we accomplish a goal, we're off to the next one. The value tends to navigate us toward accomplishing other goals, one after another. They can be little goals. It can be simply as when you're done watching this, you get the next most important thing in your day. Or it can be something bigger, that's something set out a week away, months away, years away. Resolutions are like that also. If you aren't familiar with identifying your deep primary core value, there's an exercise, and the link's down below in the description, that you can pause now, go engage with that video, and investigate what your primary core value is. Some of you may already be aware of it. It may be useful just to name an intention for leaning into your New Year's resolution or any other goal or task that you know that you have waiting for you to accomplish. I'm going to use a very specific model. The model is informed by Joan Halifax's G.R.A.C.E model of moving into the next thing with an awareness of whatever it is our intention is, our core value, and how that can be useful as decisions are needing to be made and actions need to be taken, and ultimately engaging with whatever it is that we've set off to do.
So now the invitation is, as you're settling in and sitting with the idea, the invitation is to recall your primary core value. And then consider a task, a goal, something that in your realm is needing to be done. It might be a New Year's resolution, or it could simply be the next thing that's coming today, that there's a task, a goal, something to be accomplished. and bring that into awareness with a sense of detail, what it is that's coming, that's needing attention, it's wanting attention from you. It could be a New Year's resolution, could be a goal of something to be done by the end of the day or next week or next month or by the end of the year. Continuing to settle in and grounding yourself. And as this practice unfolds, I'm going to be exploring an acronym to help you remember in the future. And this acronym is the acronym of GRACE. So just simply recalling this task, this goal, this thing that needs to be accomplished, and checking in with the G of GRACE, which is grounding. And grounding is simply drawing awareness and attention to how the earth might support this body. Sensing the body being pulled to the earth by gravity, or the earth pressing up against the body, whether it's sitting or standing or lying. Notice there's a solidness, a sense of support offered by the earth. Still considering this task that is out there, this goal. The R of GRACE is recall. Recall that primary core value. The intention of moving into the next task. If it might involve other people, might just involve yourself. But being able to check in with that core value and how it relates to the next task. And then the A of GRACE is attune. Attuning to what you're able to notice is going on inside the body now. There might be body sensations, might be emotions, might be a series of thoughts, might be a sense of numbness or stillness. Simply noticing what's showing up now as the thoughts of moving toward that next task are present. Might be a sense of tightness or excitement or tingling or tensing, or maybe even a sense of ease. And if there's other people involved, attuning to what it might be like for the other people also. Checking in with what emotions they might have going on, the challenges, the difficulties. Just imagining what it might be like for them as this task and goal is coming closer. And holding this in awareness, what it's like for you and what it might be like for the others. Consider then the C of GRACE. Consider the compassionate action being called for. The compassionate action and moving forward to it, the accomplishment of a task or a goal that may or may not involve other people, but it could include compassion for the self-compassion, self-kindness, as well as what's being called for with other people. Depending on the difficulty and the challenges being presented on this task, might show up in the form of fierce compassion. Sometimes it's stepping into a hard thing of telling someone no, or setting a boundary and holding a boundary. but not always. Sometimes it's a softer, gentler, loving and kind compassion. So the C of grace is considering the compassionate action. And once again, recalling this task, this goal, checking in and grounding and recalling the intention and the core value, attuning with what's going on with inside you, and possibly imagining what's going on with the other people involved and affected. And then considering the compassionate action. Finally, the E of grace is engaging. In other words, doing the compassionate action, doing what's called for. It's action oriented. It might be pro social, of some engagement with other individuals, or it simply might be engagement with a task, of a physical thing that needs to be done. Imagining what engagement might look like, might feel like, might be like. And all the while investigating or allowing awareness of the obstacles that might be getting in the way or might be supportive of engaging with this particular task. Are these obstacles supportive of that core value, the intention that was recalled so early on in this practice? And imagining what a completed task would look like, as though it were completed in this moment. Then opening to another E of grace. And this one's exit. Imagining, envisioning this task is done, it's finished, it's wrapped up, and stepping away from it and leaving it behind. To make space for the next opportunity, for the next most important thing. And to notice that as exiting away from a task, a goal, an accomplishment, what gets left behind, what stays, and what's being carried forward. So noticing that with each task, there's something that stays and something gets carried forward. Maybe it's as simple as the experience and the knowledge and something changed, or might be something else. So the invitation now then is to notice the body once again being supported by the earth, grounding, noticing the breath. As the next 3 breaths come and go, inviting movement into the fingers and the toes and the body, and gradually, if the eyes have been closed, gently opening the eyes and with awareness, and inviting the sensation of sight to come into awareness also.